Every few months, a model drops that everybody wants to try, and right now that model is Kimi K3. It's the largest open source model ever released, and it's trading blows with the top closed source models on the leaderboards. And the full weights go up for download on July 27th. And the moment a model like this shows up, the same thing happens at every company. Someone signs up for the API, pastes it into their agent config, and starts sending requests. No visibility, no limits, no idea what data just went where. So, in this video, we are going to cover what Kimi K3 actually is and why the buzz for it is actually real. And then I'll show you how to give your team and your agents access to it through NetBird's Agent Network with identity, policies, and cost controls instead of a shared API key. So, what is Kimi K3? This is a new flagship model from Moonshot AI and it came out on July 16th. The headline number here is 2.8 trillion parameters. That makes it the first open model in the 3 trillion parameter class. It's a mixture of experts model, and Moonshot is highlighting two big architectural changes. First is Kimi Delta Attention, which is a hybrid linear attention mechanism. The second is something called attention residuals. Both of these are aimed at keeping information flowing through really long sequences and really deep models. On top of that, you get a 1 million token context window and native visual understanding. But the benchmarks are what really got people riled up. K3 comes in at number 2 overall in Val's AI Index and number 3 on artificial analysis. That puts it just behind the top closed frontier models, all while costing a fraction as much per task. It also took the number 1 spot on front end code arena. An open source model like this has never been this close to the front of the pack. K3 is also trained with quantization aware training from the fine tuning stage. The weights are stored in MXFP4 with MXFP8 activations. That format runs natively on NVIDIA Blackwell and AMD MI400 hardware. And that matters a lot if you're planning on serving the thing yourself. If you actually have access to a cluster of those kinds of GPUs, I am jealous. If you don't, pricing is a flat pay as you go, no tiering by content length, even with that 1 million token window. This release just landed days before the World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai. Alibaba answered with news that a 2.4 trillion parameter open weight Quinn model is on the way, and everyone is expecting a DeepSeek release soon. The open model ecosystem is moving faster than it ever has. It's something I am looking very much forward to, and it's got the attention of regulators. On July 20th, reports came out that the US government is receiving push to restrict Chinese AI models, citing cybersecurity concerns and specifically in response to this K3 launch. Now, whatever happens there, one thing is already true today. If you run a team, some of your engineers are probably already pointing Claude Code or Codex at K3, and you're likely to have limited or no record of it. And look, it's not just a Kimi problem. The same thing happens with every new provider. The real problem is how teams actually hand out access. Long lived API keys are copied into configs, shared in Slack, and sometimes forgotten in dot files. Once a key is out, you can't see who's using it. You can't limit what models it can call. It becomes really difficult to attribute a single dollar of spend to an actual person. And that's, my friends, is where Agent Network comes in. NetBird Agent Network is our access control layer for AI agents and the people who run them. Instead of a key, access is tied to real identity from your identity provider. Agents reach LLM APIs through a single endpoint. That only exists within your encrypted WireGuard overlay network. NetBird will hold the provider key server side and check every request against your policies, and then log that usage and cost per identity. The short version is the tunnel is the credential. No key ever lives on the client, so there's no opportunity for your people to leak keys, no keys to share, no keys to revoke, one laptop at a time. Drop a user from your group on your identity provider, and their access is just gone. Agent Network is pretty new. It shipped in NetBird version 0.74 and it's open source. Right now, though, it is in beta and self hosted only with NetBird Cloud support on the way, and it's built on the reverse proxy and overlay network that are already in production. So ultimately, this is a new control plane on proven plumbing, not a from scratch system. So let's actually get this thing set up and put K3 behind it. For this setup, you're going to need a Linux VM with at least one CPU, 2 gigs of memory, and it needs to be publicly reachable on TCP ports 80 and 443 and UDP port 3478. You need a public domain pointing at that server, plus a wildcard record for the agent endpoints. With Docker, curl, and JQ installed, go ahead and run the installation script that you see on screen with the agent network flag set to true. Once it finishes, open up your domain and create your admin account and log on in. Next, we need to add a user device to our network. So we're going to head to peers, user devices, and we're going to add a peer. We're going to install the NetBird client and connect. And do note the agent network endpoints are only reachable over the overlay. So every device that runs an agent needs the client running and authenticated. Now for the fun part, connecting Kimi as a provider. A provider is any upstream LLM service that NetBird routes requests to. That can be OpenAI, Anthropic, an AI gateway like Light LLM or OpenRouter, or even a local model served through VLLM. For K3 today, you've got two clean paths. You can either point at the provider directly using Moonshot's API, or you can route it through a gateway you might already be using that carries Kimi K3. Either way, the flow is going to be basically the same. You go to the agent networks and then providers, click connect provider, select your provider, and paste in the API key. By the way, this is the last time that that key will ever really touch anything. NetBird again stores it server side and it won't touch the client. You can also set a list of allowed models here, and this is where you can pin the provider to Kimi K3 specifically so nobody quietly racks up spend on other models through the same upstream. Then you hit save, and once you connect to your first provider, NetBird generates your agent network endpoint. That's again a tunnel only base URL. If you click agent config, next to it you'll get copy and paste tabs for Cloud Code, Codex, OpenAI SDK, and curl with your endpoints already filled in. And notice what's missing from every single one of those snippets. There is no API key. Now, policies, and this is what is important because out of the box, Agent Network will deny everything. Nothing reaches a provider until a policy explicitly allows it. A policy connects a source group from your identity provider to one or more providers. And this is also where limits and guardrails attach. So for our K3 rollout, here's what that looks like. Go to team, then users, and add the people who should get access to a group. Let's say engineering. And then go to the agent network policies, add a policy, select engineering as the source, and then select Kimi as your provider. And it's from here that you could attach a token or budget limit, and these are hard caps that stop requests once the budget is hit, which are exactly what you want when your whole team is hammering a brand new model. You can also attach guardrails. Today, that means the model allow list, prompt capture, and redaction of sensitive information within captured logs. And just like that, one group has governed access to K3 and everybody else has none. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Claude code snippet and just drop it into my configuration. And then from there, run your agent as usual. Or you can send a quick test against the endpoint. From there, open usage and logs, and every request shows up with the caller identity, the model, the token count, and cost. So when somebody asks, hey, who spent $400 on K3 this week, you have an actual answer with a name on it. Okay, so what happens when the weight actually drops, meaning when you can actually download the thing? On July 27th, this is when teams with serious GPU infrastructure are going to start serving K3 themselves on VLLM or something similar, with the format running natively on the Blackwell and AMD hardware. If you have the power to actually run it locally with Agent Network, nothing about your setup changes. A private model served by VLLM inside your network is just another provider. Agents reach it over the same encrypted tunnel, governed by these same identities and these same policies with the same usage. Your agents don't care whether the upstream is Moonshot's API or a GPU box in your rack. Your access model stays identical through the whole transition. And honestly, that's the pattern that matters more than any single model release. Models are going to keep dropping. Every one of them is going to have a day one rush. Your access layer shouldn't have to change every time. So, Agent Network is in beta, and this is exactly the moment where your feedback shapes it. The proxy is built as extendable middleware, and things like SIM forwarding and external policy checks are on the roadmap. So if the K3 workflow surface is something you need, we want to hear about it. Full documentation and the quick start are going to be linked in the description, as well as a link to netbird.ai if you want to learn a little bit more, along with everything else we covered, including Kimi K3 and all of their documentation. The code for NetBird Agent Network is on GitHub, so go try it, tell us how it goes, and with all that, thank you for watching today's video. Have a beautiful day, and goodbye.